take in this quiet corner of Redwood City, imagine the gentle breeze and sunlight weaving through wildflowers. Today I want to approach our painting with a sense of playfulness and imagination, letting colors flow and the spirit of the moment guide us. My goal is to express the feeling of being surrounded by these blooms, the simple happiness of noticing beauty in unexpected places. I'll share thoughts on the kindness that still grows in our communities, even when times feel uncertain. However you found your way here, maybe with your art supplies ready, or just taking a quiet moment for yourself, I truly appreciate your company. Let's settle in together, set aside any pressure to get things just right, and simply enjoy the gentle magic that unfolds when we create and notice kindness around us. The colors on my palette come from different brands, which is why I don't mention specific brands here. Over the years, I found that the brand matters less than the feelings and creative expression you bring to your painting. What truly matters is how the colors help you tell your story and capture your experiences. And if you ever have any questions about materials or suggestions for me, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. I'm always happy to answer, listen, or help however I can. For today's painting, I'm working on a piece of rough 300-pound Arches watercolor paper. I actually started the scene in my Pentalic sketchbook. You'll see that first sketch towards the end of the session. Now let's take a moment to take a few deep breaths, sip something you love, and look at our reference photos. As usual, when I start painting a scene like this, I just take in the overall idea and the feeling first. Then I let myself move things around, maybe shift a tree, add a few flowers, or change where the light falls, just to make the composition feel right to me. I really enjoy letting my mind's eye guide the process, rather than sticking too closely to what's actually there. So, if you find yourself wanting to move things around or play with the scene, go for it. Create your own version of the scene, move things around, add a splash of color, or invent something entirely new. Or if you'd rather, just follow along with me and enjoy the process. Alright, let's get started and see where our creativity takes us. As I sketch the first shapes of the scene, I can still feel the rush of that day. I was navigating busy roads, weaving through traffic, my mind already thinking about the list of things I needed to do. I took a side street hoping to save a few minutes and instead stumbled into a moment that made me pause completely. A burst of wildflowers spilling across a front yard in Redwood City, planted by someone with generous heart. Not only for themselves, but for everyone passing by, and for the bees and butterflies too. It's funny how sometimes life offers these unexpected gifts when we slow down, even just for a breath. The world can feel so heavy, especially when the news pulls us into worry or even fear, making us forget the quiet acts of kindness and beauty that are always around us. Jon Kabat-Zinn writes about this, how even in difficult or uncertain times, we can choose to notice the beauty in our surroundings, to hold everything in awareness and allow it to be just as it is, without rushing to change or judge it. Today, as I sketch, I want to invite you to experience this scene not just with your eyes, but with all your senses. The warmth of the sun, the gentle movement of air, the colors and shapes shifting in the breeze. These wildflowers are a living reminder that beneath the noise and uncertainty, we are all capable of simple, selfless acts of generosity. Even in a single patch of blooms can offer hope, connection, and a sense of belonging. As we paint together, let's explore what it means to truly see the world around us, to notice the small wonders, to appreciate the kindness of strangers, and to remember, as so many kind-hearted people remind us, that beauty and goodness are never far away.
Free, flowing, sailing with the wind, not knowing how this story ends. Kind and brave, I know you'll find a way. Live your truth, and good will come to you.
No jumping on the bed. You know better, Edie. Okay, let's talk about what we are doing here. I started the first wash with the sky. I pre-wet the whole area first. This is the key for creating soft, gentle transitions without any hard edges. For the sky, I'm using a mix of cobalt blue and manganese blue hue, letting them flow into each other, wet on wet. Then, right at the top, I added a touch of ultramarine finest. Since ultramarine is a warmer blue, it helps the upper sky feel closer, while the cooler manganese blue recedes, giving us a real sense of depth. I let the paint drift down to the roof and the wall of the house, mixing the raw umber and rose madder genuine for earthy sunlit tones on the roof. For the garage wall, I make a soft gray from the palette just enough to suggest a local color, while everything is still damp and alive on the paper. While the paint is still wet, I drop in yellow ochre for the tree canopies, letting the colors softly blend into the house so there is no hard edge between them. I use that same yellow ochre to block in the foreground too. You'll notice I keep moving, covering the whole page with color right away. I picked up this approach from Joseph's Bookwitch, who says that if we stop too long, we risk creating hard, unintended edges that can feel stiff and lifeless. So, as you watch, notice how the colors mingle and flow. I love this stage so much because I feel like the paper is alive, and I'm just guiding the paint, letting the scene breathe and stay full of light. As I keep working into the first wash, you'll notice that I've decided to arrange the tall, striking deep blue flowers, what I believe are delphiniums, on both sides of the paper. If you happen to know exactly what they are, feel free to let me know in the comments. I really enjoy learning from you. I exaggerated their size and played with the colors quite a bit here, just letting my mood guide me. To me, painting is expressing my feelings of the moment rather than sticking to what's strictly real. The paper is still damp and alive right now, so I'm pouring in a lot of color at once. My approach isn't very conventional. I like to see what happens when colors mingle and flow together, even if it means risking a bit of muddiness. But I don't mind it if things get a little messy. For me, it's about exploring and letting the painting surprise me. Sometimes the colors create beautiful patterns I could never plan for. And this time, I'm happy with how the colors settled in together. There is not much mud, and I love the harmony that came out of just letting go. So if you are painting along with me, I encourage you to loosen up too. Try combining the colors I'm using today and see where your own curiosity will lead you. There's no right or wrong here, just the joy of discovery and the freedom of play. quite a bit while the paper was still damp, scratching out the shapes of grasses and then sprinkling large salt crystals across the wash. There's something magical about the way salt interacts with watercolor. The crystals pull in the pigment and water, leaving behind those beautiful organic patterns that only salt can create. Sometimes these shapes remind me of sweet William flowers with their soft clustered forms. I never get tired of watching the surprises appear. It's like the painting is collaborating with me, offering up little gifts I could never plan for. And now I'm moving on to the tree growing along the side. To me, it looks like a crepe myrtle, a tree you'll see all over the Bay Area, especially in the neighborhoods like this. I've always loved the bark of the crepe myrtles. It's full of unique, multicolored patterns, sometimes smooth, sometimes peeling away to reveal cinnamon pink and gray underneath. There's a special beauty in the way the bark reflects light and changes through the seasons. Like I've mentioned in previous videos, my goal isn't to capture every detail exactly as it is. Nature always does its best, and I'm here to simply suggest its beauty and let it inspire me. There's so much joy in watching how water, pigment, and even a pinch of salt can come together to create something alive and unexpected. Nature's creativity feels endless to me, and every painting session is a reminder of how much there is still to discover. Dear friends, now please allow me to reflect on something that is on my mind. Lately, I've noticed how easily stress creeps in, especially after catching up on the news. It feels like everywhere you look there's conflict and uncertainty, and oftentimes it's overwhelming. There are days when it seems like the world is just uneasy, and I find myself wondering if there's anything I can really do about it. In those moments, I turn to painting and to sharing this creative time with you. because it's something real and grounding, a way to reconnect with what's right in front of me. And I've also found myself reaching for Jon Kabat-Zinn's books more often lately. His words have been a comfort, reminding me that while we can't control what's happening out there, we can choose how we respond to it. Kabat-Zinn teaches that mindfulness is about paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. It's not about escaping reality or pretending everything is fine, but about truly noticing what's here right now without getting swept away by fear or negativity. He offers practical ways to bring this awareness into daily life, focusing on your breath, really tasting your food, listening deeply, or simply noticing the sensations of your feet on the ground. The small acts of presence help us step out of the spiral of negative thoughts and stories that our minds so easily create. As Kabat-Zinn and other teachers remind us, we are not our thoughts. We can observe them, but we don't have to be ruled by them. When I paint, I try to practice this kind of mindful presence. I let myself be absorbed in the colors, the shapes, the light, and the feeling of the brush in my hand. I focus on the beauty of this moment, like the wildflowers in the garden, the sunlight on the petals, the kindness of someone planting flowers for strangers and pollinators. Even when the world feels heavy, there are still these small, generous acts that remind me of our capacity for kindness and connection. So as we paint together, I invite you to join me in this practice. Let's notice the details, the colors, the way the light shifts. Let's allow ourselves to be here, just as we are, even if only for a little while. In doing so, we create a space for beauty, gratitude, and hope, right where we are, in this very moment. And now I want to pause and talk to anyone who might be painting along and feeling a bit overwhelmed by watercolors. If you are struggling, please know you are not alone. It took me more than 10 years to finally feel at ease with this medium. Watercolor really does have a mind of its own, and it can be so challenging at times, but that's also what makes it so special. If you are just starting out, or if you find yourself frustrated, please remember that learning to paint takes time. Consistent practice is what helps you grow, even if it's just for a few minutes here and there. Every painting is a step forward, and every mistake is just another lesson. Please don't be afraid to play, experiment, and let things get a little messy. And if you're worried about the cost of supplies, please don't let that stop you from creating. Use whatever you have, student-grade paints, inexpensive paper, or even just the colors you can find around your home. I remember a time when I didn't have watercolors, so I used beet juice on white porcelain plates, and it worked just fine for exploring color and creativity. The brand or price for your materials isn't what matters most. It's your willingness to express yourself and let your heart and soul play. So if you feel called to paint, Please give yourself permission to splash color, make a little mess, and have fun. Alright, our wildflower scene has come to life. We've spent this time together from a simple pencil sketch inspired by a moment of unexpected beauty in Redwood City to this vibrant watercolor painting. We've played with color and light, reflected on kindness of people, and on how, even in a world that often feels rushed and heavy, we can find peace and hope by simply noticing and appreciating the beauty around us. My dear friends, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here with me today. Your presence, your comments, and your shared creativity mean more than I can describe in words. I really hope the session brought a little bit of light and inspiration into your day. I love hearing from you. Read your stories in the comments, and if you have thoughts, questions, or ideas for future videos, please share them below. I always look forward to your messages. And if today's session sparked something in you, I invite you to keep painting, keep noticing, and keep sharing your own moments of wonder. I hope you'd realize that creativity lives in all of us, and every small act of noticing, of making, of sharing beauty adds something wonderful to the world. So keep looking for those moments of wonder, keep expressing what's in your heart, and know that you are capable of bringing so much good into your own life and even to the lives of other people. I'll see you again soon with another story and another painting inspired by my life. Until then, I wish you all a truly wonderful spring filled with sunshine and blooms and a joyful start to the summer ahead. Please take care, and until next time, keep creating.